Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Podium Picks. Sean Woodland and Tommy Marquez inside the Whoop Studios. Once again, we have a very formidable guest slated for this week, and I think a very good topic. It's very timely as well. But before we get into that, Tommy, we always have to be physically prepared for these tooth and nail battles that we've been having. So how the numbers looking today?
Well, let's see. I have not worked out today, so my numbers are
pretty good,
pretty average.
Something left in the tank.
62% in the high end of the yellow, so I'm looking all right. Got a decent amount of sleep, 7:53, but left the heater on, so I did not. So I stirred from my sleep quite a bit, so my performance wasn't as high as it could have been based on efficiency, disturbances, and respiratory rate. So.
All right. Well, mine, I'm not nearly as good. Like I said, I've been battling. I told you earlier today, this biblical attack of allergies. So I had 11% recovery, not good on 4 hours and 46 minutes of sleep. Got to work on that. Hopefully get some of this out of the system and be able to sleep a little bit better. But I still feel that I am ready for today's matchup. And joining us for today, a woman who will be competing in the semifinals coming up. She is a games veteran and she is a mother. And that's important because we are doing famous moms for today's draft. She is Kinsey Riley. Kinsey, thank you so much for doing this. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing great. It's a wonderful, beautiful day in the motherly life of Kinsey.
Just to let everybody know, you now have a 1-year-old. So was this your first or second official Mother's Day that you just celebrated?
Oh, so this was my first.
Okay, congratulations. All right.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, actually last year, my son was supposed to be due on Mother's Day. That was my due date, but he decided he wasn't quite ready. So we waited another 6 days for him to come out. So I had to wait like 359 days or whatever to have a Mother's Day. So
how has becoming a mother changed your life?
Oh, geez. So many ways. Like there's just so much, from just perspective and mentality to the literal like day-to-day function and priorities and time management. So, and then obviously physically, just my body and my energy and all of that. So just it's the biggest change I've ever gone through, but it's amazing. It's super rewarding and everything. My life is very similar in a sense. And now it's just more enjoyable because I have another layer and like another, reason of why I do things and what, I get to share it with my son and, my husband and my son as a family. So it's like different, but the same, but different in a crazy, awesome way. I don't know.
Well, we appreciate you taking the time to do this. I know your schedule is very busy as you get ready to compete at the Atlas Games. So best of luck with that. And, your husband's doing an Ironman soon. Doing an Ironman.
Yeah.
Family.
Yeah. So we have to take turns. We have shifts of you work out, I'll have him, then I work out, then you have him. So yeah, we're doing a lot of fitness right now. But after we get out of June, maybe we'll get a little bit more.
Okay.
But
well, let's talk about what we got going on today. We're going to do famous mothers. Okay. So this is it can be from pop culture. Does anyone, first of all, we just need to clarify the rules. It can be from pop culture, real life, can be from athletics, anything, right? We're going with any mother from any walk of life here, correct?
Yeah, and they have to physically be like mother in the traditional sense, right? Like they are.
Okay.
I'm asking.
I mean,
mother in the terms of they are a mother to a child.
Versus what?
I know where Tommy's going with this. I think he wants to do it.
I like to think outside the box.
There's
a title you can have.
Yeah, I don't know. I would be okay as long as it's
okay. So
traditionally thought of as some sort of mother.
So I will say it this way: the spirit of the games in this instance is for Mother's Day, right?
Yes,
from a parental standpoint, and the person that I'm talking about doesn't count in that regard.
Man, I would have to hear your pick.
Oh, no. Sounds like no.
I'm going to say it just because I don't think I as much as I want to be clever and place it, I don't think Mother Teresa would count.
No,
she is a mother.
I don't view her as a matriarch.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So that would, all right. That's a good one though. Any other questions before we start?
I just would like to make a comment on how overly just like anxious and oversaturated with ideas and options that this category gave me, because picking something, like making a decision for me with something like this is very difficult. When there are so many options, it stresses me the F out. So thank you for giving like no rules, no boundaries. Like it's a wide open situation. And that's tough for Kinsey. It gives me a lot of anxiety. Thank you.
Okay. Well, so the first choice you have to make is where you want to draft. So we always let our guest decide where she wants to draft. You can go first, second, or third, obviously. But keep in mind, if you pick first, you have to wait for it to come back to you 4 picks, because it would be so second, third goes again to start the second round, then second, then first. So it reverses every time. So if you pick first, it's just like a fantasy football draft or something like that.
Yeah, my husband is like fantasy football extreme.
You know all about that. You're good to go.
I know all about this. Okay,
right.
Got it.
So where would you like to pick?
I'm just gonna go with the safe bet. I'm just gonna go middle.
Second. Everyone seems to pick that. So now, Tommy, you want me to flip this week? I'll flip it this week.
Yep.
All right. So we're gonna flip the official coin here of Podium Picks. Call it in the air.
Tails.
All right. Didn't call it in the air, but we'll still allow it. It's heads.
Oh.
Man. Where do I want to go here? I've picked first the past couple. You know what? I'm going to go third. I'm going to let you go first, Tommy.
Oh, no.
No one wants to go first. Huh?
Yeah, I've gone first. It's paid off for me, and it's really blown up in my face. So this time, I feel like there's a lot of value here. So I'm gonna wait till the third pick. But before we get started, we need to crown the winner from last week. And last week we did famous T-shirts with Brent Fikowski. Now this one was a slobber knocker.
Oh, this was
and you have the official tally now, Tommy.
Yes. So in third place with 68 votes, me.
What?
I was distant third. Oh. Second place
so
with 84 votes, Sean.
No, I thought
so Brent Fikowski shows up and cleans house with 93 votes. Let it be known that in the first 50 votes, Sean had 25 of them and had like a 15 vote lead over me, and Brent was a distant third. Brent charged late in the polls.
He started doing some lobbying.
He did.
So congratulate, and he wasn't even prepared.
I think he sent out a newsletter to his professor project people, and he got onto the streets, was shaking hands and kissing babies.
Oh man! Well, congratulations, Brent Fikowski. I will accept that. He had some very good picks.
Our wins all time now stand at, our guest has 5, Sean has 4, and I have 3.
Wow, we're losing to our. Well,
we're getting worked. Right. We're getting worked.
With that being said, now you ready to kick this? Everyone ready? Let's kick this thing off with our famous Mother's Draft in honor of Mother's Day. Tommy, you are on the clock with pick number 1. Wow, already pensive about this.
Okay, this is tough. I don't see. I didn't want the first overall pick because I didn't have a clear one for me. So that was a good play on your part.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go animated first.
All right, you're probably gonna take mine.
And I'm gonna take, I think, as far as I'm concerned, the quintessential animated cartoon mom, and it's Marge Simpson.
Yep, good one. I was gonna pick her first as well. So nice, good job.
There are other spin-off cartoon moms that are based around the trope that Marge plays. I mean, she continually has to put up. I mean, I won't say her choice in Men is solid in picking a father, and Homer Simpson, you could say it's the best ever just because of the character that he is. But, you know, she's raising 3 kids with Bart, Maggie, and Lisa. Lisa is a musical genius in general, and she puts up amidst all the craziness that happened in Springfield. And she stands tall with her hair as well. Iconic, probably the most iconic hair
easily
in the mom game.
Yes, I couldn't agree more with that pick. I was going to pick her first. If I had that first pick, could have. But I love that there's an episode where I think she was trying to convince Lisa about, Homer is like, I changed Homer, and like, yeah. And he's like, what?
I can't even say it. She has that raspy voice.
He's a changed man, Lisa. So love Marge Simpson. Love the Simpsons in general. Great first pick. All right, Kinsey, you're up with your first pick here.
Okay. Yeah. I had a feeling she would come up. And honestly, I'm not the biggest Simpsons fan. I'm not going to lie. And I think this will really illustrate just what type of taste we have in pop culture, right? This is like going to be interesting. So I've done a lot of thinking, guys. I'm really nervous and really just my heart is pounding right now. But I think I'm going to take my first pick as, I don't really know how you categorize this one because it's like it's like real life, but it's also pop culture in a sense, or it's also fiction. No, it's a nonfiction. It's a movie. It's from a movie based on true story. So whatever you would call that. So the movie, The Blind Side, right?
Good one.
Leanne Tui, sorry, Tui, not Tui. Tui, the mom from The Blind Side, who is, mother to her biological children, but also adopts Michael Orr, and is just, she's just she's a Southern sweet woman, God-fearing woman, but she's also just like a pistol, man, right? She like gets out there and speaks up for him, and I think she's a badass, and it's a great movie. And obviously she has a big heart because she took in this man, and look at him, look what he did with his life. So
that's a good one.
That's a sneaky one. I thought I would get that one later.
Did you really?
Yeah. Portrayed in the movie by Sandra Bullock.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, wow. Solid way to start there, Kinsey. Man,
I had to take her because that's like the only one that I was definitely like for sure.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right, my turn. I get back to back now as we start end round one and end round two. So I'm going to go. There's going to be a theme with both of these. Like I'm getting basically my starting left and right tackles here. Like I am solidifying the offensive line. We're going to go basically out of the same mold with these two, and then I feel like I'm covered. So first, I'm going to go with the mother of dragons and the breaker of chains, Daenerys Targaryen from Game of Thrones. Just iconic. You want to talk about someone who just rose from just this poor, helpless kid to this unrelenting force of just badassery. Daenerys Targaryen, man, just a great character. Don't want to spoil anything for people who haven't seen the show yet. Don't like the way that they wrap that character up, but still, she was relentless.
That is a good pick. I had that on my board.
Thank you.
Definitely. I feel like you a couple of drafts ago with two of my.
Got to decline that. Sorry.
I feel like you 2 drafts ago with two of my picks getting taken early.
Yes. So, this next one, I'm going to go. I'm going to go basically of the same ilk here. And I'm going to go from this kind of old school, going back a little bit. And this has sort of the same character arc as one Daenerys Targaryen, sort of helpless into iconic badass. I'm going with Sarah Connor from the Terminator series. Started out as sort of this, in the first Terminator movie, which everybody out there who thinks Terminator 2 is better than Terminator 1, you're wrong. First of all, you're wrong.
We got so many voices of support against that notion.
That's just wrong. Terminator 1 is a fantastic movie, but Sarah Connor in that movie is a much different character than she is in Terminator 2. Terminator 2, she's like, I think the first time you see her, she's doing pull-ups off her bed in prison. You're like, this woman is ripped. And she was like the first person, I think, one of the first people who it was really cool to look like that as a female action hero. And I love the fact that she broke that mold. But she went from kind of being helpless and I don't know what to do to I'm going to be the woman who raises the John Connor, who is going to bring humanity back from the brink. So I'm going to go Daenerys Targaryen and then Sarah Connor, back-to-back pillars of my mother's draft here. So now we go back to Kinsey. So Kinsey, this will now be your second pick.
Okay. So yeah, those are some intense picks. So I kind of was thinking about, my lineup, and I want a mix of like, if it was up to me, like picking just like a solid team, I would want to pick like a whole bunch of badasses, but also, you want some like fun, you want a little bit of fun in the mix, you want some random mix ups. I mean, I personally like variety. So I'm going to go with, I don't know if you call this a dark horse. I don't know how you would qualify this person. So, I don't know if you guys love Schitt's Creek or I'm the only one here, but
I haven't watched
I'm gonna put Moira Rose as my second pick.
Yeah.
Okay.
I personally think she is freaking hilarious. She is not the most like attentive mother, but her character and just in general, I think, I don't know. I think she's hilarious, and I think she does mean well, but the way that she plays a mother, at least as her character. Anyways, I think I have to have her. I have to have her.
That's a good pick.
I've seen 4 episodes of Schitt's Creek.
Never seen it.
And she is phenomenal at it.
All right, I've heard it's really good.
Is hilarious.
Okay.
So, and she wasn't my favorite off the bat. So it was like, it took to like a few seasons for me to realize that she's hilarious. So yeah, that's also me telling you, Sean, go watch Schitt's Creek. You will not regret it.
Okay. I will put that, because you recommended it, Kinsey. I will put that on the list. I'll give it a try.
It won like 9 Emmy Awards. It's like,
I know. I'm behind on the television.
Oh man.
So that's why I'll put it on the list. I trust you.
Okay.
All right, Tommy, back to you now. You get back-to-back picks to close out round 2 and begin round 3. And then at the end of round 3, we'll do our Whoop Podium.
All right. So I'm going to pick in a similar vein in terms of comedy.
Okay.
Here. I was worried about, I don't know if she'll come back to me, but she is a matriarch of a family and what I consider one of the best comedy shows that got cut too soon.
Oh no. Don't you dare.
Her name is Lucille Blue. Lucille Blue from
That was the one, Tommy. That's a smart, because it was not coming back to you.
From Arrested Development.
Oh man.
The quasi-alcoholic, sharp-witted, I mean, antagonistic mother of Job or Gob.
Should not have waited.
Lindsay, and Anyang.
Anyang. Yes, Anyang.
Oh man, grandmother of George Michael, maybe. Seabolt. Oh man.
I was looking up quote actually, because that was all the quotes I was looking up from her when her daughter comes in. I have the afternoon free. Really? Did nothing cancel? So good.
The scene when she goes shot for shot with what's her bucket.
Oh yeah,
and just puts her under the table.
I have to get back to rehab.
Yeah, he's a good one. That show's.
I love that show. I love like although she's maybe not the main focus, you could argue that she's one of like the drivers of the show.
Man, that one hurts.
Yep. Okay.
Well done, Tommy.
So I have animated, I have live action. I think I can get my other picks later.
Ooh, okay.
And I'm going to go with a real life mother.
Oh.
Arguably the mom with the most power influentially in the world, I think, right now.
Okay.
One of. And I'm going to go with Queen Elizabeth.
Oh, okay.
The mother of the matriarchy in England. She is the crown queen of England. She is the leader of the royal family, whatever status you want to give them right now, because they're all but she rules the roost. And the fact that so much of British pop culture still somehow runs through the matriarchy, even though technically they have got parliament and all this stuff. I know people anyone above the age of like 40 to 45 in England, like the royal family is like this institution. And I think it really rose to that because of her. She's 95 years old.
Still going strong.
Oh my gosh. She's the longest lived and longest reigning British monarch, the longest serving female head of state in world history, the world's oldest living monarch, longest reigning current monarch, oldest and longest serving current head of state as well. I believe she became the head of England in 1952 at 25 years old. She's 95 now. So basically 70 years she's been ruling, quote unquote, Great Britain.
Wow. Good pick.
And she's got an excellent taste in hats.
Wow. All right. Important. Dude, you went two opposite ends there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
One. All right. Kinsey, you're up now for your third pick here.
All right. I'm wrestling with this one because I'm going to go with a real life mom too.
All right.
And you just went with like, oh man, this is, why is this a tough decision? When you hear like who the other choice was, it's going to seem really weird that these were, in a deadlock. I'm going to go, okay. So I'm going to go in a similar direction that Tommy just went in, that this is a real life. And it does go down the path of like a political figure, a woman in power who hasn't necessarily been with the title of First Lady for a few years now, but Michelle Obama is still very much a power figure.
Yes.
And just, I mean, she still shows up on the cover of like the People magazine that comes to my doorstep. She's doing motherhood right. She did a great job as First Lady. Of course, everything she's done for just all of the different causes that she works in. Plus she has great arms. Everybody loves Michelle Obama.
That's true.
Having those good arms. So I don't know. I think that she has a total package of a situation. So I'm taking her.
That's a solid pick. She seems like she'd be fun to hang out with too.
Yeah, she does
hang out with Michelle Obama. Just kick it.
I feel like if you hang with Barry O back in the 70s, you know how to kick it.
Can I kick it? Yeah, you can kick it. Who am I to tell you can't kick it? Okay. That brings it to me. I'm going to get my third pick in here, and then we'll take a break, and then we'll do our Whoop podium. So you know what? I think I'm going to do this because I'm going to do it out of spite because I'm upset that you took my Lucille Bluth.
Oh.
So I got to soften things up here a little bit. I'm going to go with the woman who said that life is like a box of chocolates.
No, that was my next pick.
I'm going with Mrs. Gump.
Mrs.
Gump, man. Sally Field, it was Sally Field, right? Who played her?
Yes.
Did such a great job with her, and just had so much wisdom, and was so patient and so loving with her son, and was there throughout his, basically his entire life. And when she, when she passed away, that was hard to watch.
Devastating.
But I'm going to take Mrs. Gump. So I got my two ass kickers, and now I just need someone to soften the team up a little bit, who can provide good motherly advice, give you a shoulder to cry on. Mrs. Gump, man, just.
And I don't believe she's ever given a first name.
I don't think she has either. I know.
Yeah.
It might be in the book.
Mrs. Gump. Yeah. And Mr. Gump was on vacation because she cares about his education.
He ain't coming back.
Little rhyme that what's more quintessential mom than doing anything possible to make sure your child succeeds? And she does that. And boy, does he succeed, right? I mean, she's amazing, right? I was going to pick it. I don't want to like overly sell yours, but I mean, top of the box of chocolates phrase, you can tell a lot of person by their shoes, where they're going, where they've been. Stupid is as stupid does. Miracles happen every day. Sometimes we all do things that, just don't make no sense.
See? Great quotes. Great quotes like Lucille Bluth, but in a much different vein.
Oh man,
a lot of wisdom. She just has a lot of wisdom.
That's right. Yeah. So I'm going to go. Mrs. Gump is my third pick.
One of the quotes I will say that has been important to me is she says, "There's only so much fortune a man really needs, and the rest is just for showing off."
Yep.
I think those are wise words to live by.
Yep. Didn't she also say something about walking in another man's shoes?
Yep.
That's one of my favorite
death
quotes.
Death is just a part of life.
Yep. God, she's the best. So
I didn't realize how much good shit she said.
Yeah.
You crushes it.
If you want to trade Lucille Bluth straight up for Mrs. Gump, we might be able to have a conversation.
Ooh, a draft trade.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh, the interesting. We haven't had that yet.
We have not. So we'll close out the third round there.
Okay.
And now we need to get to our Whoop podium. Last week we did hours of sleep. So this week we're going to do just for the day, for today, right? That we're recording this on.
Yes.
May 12th, we're going to do the highest day strain from a single activity.
Yes. So we're going to take a look at what was it that really got you pumping on this Wednesday? Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Our top 10 as far as a single activity day strain. Surprise, surprise. Liz Dalmas with a 20.1 activity. Don't know what that was. Bill Susi, 18.2 basketball, throwing down. Ooh, Melissa Budiarto, jiu-jitsu, 17.9. Sebastian Engelhart, CrossFit training, 16.8. Braden Bonesteel. That's oh man, I could say that name all day. 16.6. Aaron Badia, activity, 16.5. Better log that. Tell them what it was. Rebecca McCabe North went out for a nice walk. 15.8. Peter Weiserman. There's a J there that I don't know how to pronounce. I believe it's Dutch. 15.6 for running. Eyelid Curry, soccer, 15.6. And then 10th, Schaefer Mueller, putting in the work, manual labor.
Ooh, there you go.
15.5. Maybe dug up some roots.
Could have done that.
All about them roots. So those are our top 10 as far as single activities are concerned for our strain category in our Talking Elite Fitness Whoop group.
Yeah. So congratulations, everybody. Appreciate you guys throwing down, and congratulations to everybody on the podium there. As we now kick off we're kicking off round 4, right? Okay. My pick for round 4. Now, once again, I'm going to fulfill a need here. I don't think this pick is necessarily the best mother out there. Probably one of the worst moms out there.
Oh,
but one of the best characters.
Okay.
So I'm going into the world of animation now, and I'm going to pick Mrs. Cartman.
Oh yeah. I have her on my list.
She is a terrible mother, just giving into her son's worst impulses and, giving him whatever he wants and just spoiling the kid and she's just such a great character, and just some of the stupid things she says. And I think at times, just like Randy Marsh, makes that show with the way that she talks to Eric and hi booby.
She's also Mr. Cartman too. If
you
remember
that's so
the origin
roles,
of Cartman. Dual role.
So Mrs. Cartman is going to be my animated pick, and just sort of my screwball pick that I'm going to throw in there.
God, Cartman is just the worst.
He is the worst child in the world.
At the same time,
he is. So that's my comic relief, and she's, of course, Mrs. Cartman has made some appearances to some other things that probably aren't suitable to discuss on this show, but it's part of the comedy that surrounds her and 100%. The legend that is Eric Cartman's mom. So that's going to be my fourth pick, and that's back to Kinsey now for pick number 4.
Okay, so. So I know I would say, at least based on what I've seen from this series and how people make these decisions, they should be like genuine picks that are like, it's not necessarily strategic. I mean, it's strategy, but you should really, be able to defend your pick. So while I would say this is a genuine pick, but it's also based on what I know, because I'm not going to pretend like I have seen every episode and I'm like a diehard fan of this show, but I do know that this is a very popular character, because the Gilmore Girls, very iconic, and Lorelai Gilmore, is the single mom with her teenage daughter, who they're like bestie little friends with the wit and just the whole Gilmore Girls thing is like a thing, right? So like I said, I've never watched the whole series. I've never been sold entirely on being like a lover of Gilmore Girls, but I do know that she is a very strong mom presence and character. So she's getting picked by me.
Well, I think you just earned my wife's vote.
Ooh. Yeah, right.
She never votes for me, by the way.
People love it. But
crazy.
And I have much respect for the single mom. My mom did a little bit of that in her day. So yeah, I needed to have at least one of those. I
like that. It's a good pick. Kenzie's got some good solid moms here.
Yeah.
You and I are kind of going off the rails with this.
Yeah, she's picking like quality of the actual mother.
Exactly.
Oh man.
Like, I wasn't sure what I wasn't sure the criteria.
It's a great team you got going here. I like it. Very well balanced, just a lot of wisdom and just good people here. Okay. So you get to end round 4 and begin round 5, Tommy.
Yeah. This is tough. I think this is where the draft is won or lost.
Mm-hmm. And I think I know one of your picks, what they're going to be.
Oh man.
Scrambling.
You know what? I think there's been a pick that happened first round that I think there's actually a more important mother to that show.
Oh, I know where you're going here.
And in the world of George R.R. Martin, I think the primary antagonist for the entire series is Cersei Lannister.
Yes, that's a good one.
And the reason why I'm choosing her, because I have 2 awful moms on my board right now, is the one thing early on that she actually does care about. The one thing that she really does, that really does bring her back to some semblance of decency, is her role as a mother and her care for her kids. Now, granted, Joffrey was just the worst.
Worse than Cartman.
Oh, just
terrible. Like that. The kid who played that character, like did so well.
Oh,
I mean, unbelievable. Like if you would see that kid on the street, you would probably want to punch him in the face because you hate him by proxy.
Yeah. I mean, she just created, he is so bad. Marcella, her daughter, Tommen, her other son, Olive from her Baratheon wed from Robert Baratheon. Tommen, not to give any spoilers, decides to take a leap.
Yeah.
Marcella receives the wrath of the Sand Snakes. But I think her role as a mom is the one thing that was keeping her from just going unhinged and going full blown like scorched earth.
Yeah.
And I think that was such an integral part of the series. I didn't like how she ended too. And there was some stuff that was unclear about her status as a mother. But man, if you're talking about like all-time villains in a show, she's really up there.
Yep.
And one of the driving forces for her was a mom and the curse or the fortune that she was given by looking into the future by the witch or whatever back in the day. So yeah, I'm going to take Cersei Lannister.
Solid pick. I like it. All right. And now it's round 5, final pick here. Got to close out strong, Tommy.
God, I really wanted Mrs. Gump. I
really wanted Lucille Bluth.
That was my North Star as far as like
wholesomeness.
I am going to take, you know what? This might be chalk, but I'm going to take, what's the common theme amongst all of us? What is the singular unifying thing that brought us all here?
Fitness.
Between Mekenzie, Sean, me.
CrossFit.
Yeah. Who was the first mom in CrossFit to make the podium at the CrossFit?
Oh, Valerie Voberl.
Yep. Valerie Voberl. Fifth round, Valerie Voberl. And I have a fun Valerie Voberl story. 2012. So 2010, Valerie Voberl makes it as an individual, makes the podium, finishes 3rd. 2011, takes the season off, goes to have her daughter. 2012, making a comeback that year. It's the first time I've ever done anything on camera, and I'm going to do interviews. And trying to do athlete interviews on the side. Kathy Elder's our producer. We're shooting at the SoCal Regional that year. Valerie Voberl is, I believe, simultaneously potentially nursing her daughter while grading papers underneath the grandstands and going out and kicking ass. I asked her for an interview amidst all of that. It was a dumb idea of me because she was so busy. She stops what I'm doing. She's all, absolutely do it. And was like complimenting me and so nice and so accommodating. And in the middle of her interview, her little baby girl grabbed the mic flag, thought it was an ice cream.
I remember that.
And started eating it during the interview. And it was like, I was so nervous to interview an athlete at that time. I was so just unsure of myself. And that little moment with her daughter eating my microphone. And because I remember like the rules, like the first thing is don't give up your microphone.
Mm-hmm.
The daughter starts eating the microphone. I had no choice. Valerie just laughed it off, was super nice and accommodating, granted me the interview when I was afraid to ask everyone else. And it was one of those moments that like, I will always be grateful for that. And she's always been nice to me. And she was like one of the first people that accommodated me. And then she goes on to finish on the podium the following year, has been inside the top 5 multiple times, qualified in 2017, I believe, as at like 38, and is just an absolute monster of an athlete that doesn't get enough credit. So,
and just a quality human being. That's a great pick.
Absolutely.
Well done.
Yep.
I love that. She's the best. That's amazing. Yeah, definitely.
You're up, Kinsey. Last pick here.
Okay. Well, I didn't do any real literal life moms that I know. Well, I know a lot, and there are like so many. So making that choice would have been impossible anyways. So I'm going to go with animated for my last pick here, which is kind of like, we're just going to put a little cherry on the top of my draft picks. So this mom goes back to like my childhood. So when I think of what I was raised on,
all right,
this mom came up a lot because I was a child of the 90s and I absolutely watched the hell out of Nickelodeon. I don't know anybody else out there, but Dee Dee Pickles from the Rugrats is, I'm not going to say that she was any sort of spectacular, outstanding like mother figure, but she was absolutely a mom that I watched every day on TV. But yeah, so she had her, I mean, he never aged, right? So Tommy Pickles was like a baby forever. And I believe, if I remember right, which by the way, if you Google her right now, you can get like this whole page of like these facts that I'm like, who came up with these details about her life? Like it talks about stuff that this character development that like no one ever knows about when you watch this child TV show. But she did have a job. She did work outside the home. So she was a working mom, but she did have her baby and ended up having a second child as the series went on. But yeah, her and her weird hair. Next to Marge Simpson, that's another weird, iconic hairdo. That for me as a child of the 90s, there wasn't a show I watched more. So for me, I have to throw that in as my animated option.
I like that one. It's a good pick. Yeah. I look at the crew that you've put together, Kinsey, and I'm thinking if I need something, I'm going to Kinsey's group. Definitely not going to my group. Just get a butt whooping.
I mean, you want to talk about like just open-mindedness. Dee Dee was a child psychologist. You could argue that she was as much of a parent to Angelica, her niece, as Angelica's parents were, because they were always like the working out of town.
Yep.
And I think Dee Dee and Stu as a parent, I had this. She was on my list for sure because I love the Rugrats.
Yeah.
Awesome example of mixed faith family. Dee Dee is Jewish and Stu is Christian, and they practice both and teach their kids both. And Tommy and Dill both grew up to be well-adjusted. And the one episode where I think they become adults, they both become well-adjusted adults. And although their babysitting skills in terms of like making sure the kids don't get a shenanigans, highly questionable.
The one thing, and if you read, I didn't even think about this, but I totally get it now. When you read the stuff about her, it's like Tommy always pulls the screwdriver out of his diaper to like unlock his playpen. They're like, why does she never find that? So, slightly questionable, but
that's a level of being just tuned out that you really have to try to accomplish as a parent.
I feel like that was the beauty of like the 90s though, because you could still kind of like let your kids go play outside and like there was a certain level of trust in the process.
Right. Okay.
But I can appreciate so much stuff now that I'm a mom. Like when I think back and like see other mom characters or like like sympathize with her or like identify with a situation.
Yep.
So I'm identifying with DD Pickles a little bit these days.
Oh man. Okay. Well, I get the last pick now. This one might get ixnayed by the committee here.
Ooh.
But usually it's
no,
Tommy
I think I know
who goes meta with his last pick. So I'm going to take a little page out of your book, Tommy. I'm going to go meta with my last pick. And I'm going to, yeah, you should, because this mom is undefeated, always wins, is the reason all of us are here, is the reason that all the moms that we talked about exist. It is the reason why things continue to perpetuate in this world, the circle of life and the life cycle continues to go on. I'm going to pick Mother Nature. Mother Nature. Mark it down, Tommy. Mother Nature is going to be my fifth and final pick. Thank you for the idea with failure from last week. I was surprised Mother Nature even got to me. I thought you were going to take it. I almost took it in round 3 because I was like, I think Tommy's going to take it.
I had it written down.
Of course you did have it written down.
You did?
I forgot to draft it. No.
So that I'm going to close it out with, I think, just a good value pick. You cannot beat Mother Nature.
That was... I didn't want to give that one away earlier because that's why I went with Mother Teresa as the question, because I wanted to test to see where we could get with. And that was on my list. I guess we can talk about, like, you know why I missed it? Because she was right in between Bambi's mother and Wilma Flintstone.
Oh, Wilma Flintstone would have been great.
And I forgot to put a space in between, so it just blurred together and I missed Mother Nature.
Man. So you had Wilma Flintstone would have been great. I think Mrs. Brady for me was
I had that Carol Brady.
Yep. Claire Huxtable from the Cosby Show. Great TV mom.
Claire Dunphy from Modern Family.
Ooh.
Yep.
I almost drafted this one. This might have been my last one. Kitty Foreman from That 70s Show. I was trying to think of like the late 90s, early 2000s TV moms. There's Lois from Malcolm in the Middle. There's
Taylor.
Yep, from Home Improvement. Yep. There's Ray Romano. Oh gosh, I can't remember her name from Everybody Loves Raymond. There's a bunch of different ones. And ultimately, I went earlier with Lucille Bluth with the sitcom television mom.
Solid pick.
I also had Lois Griffin. A lot of people are going to be pissed that we didn't put that one.
Yeah.
But to me, Marge Simpson was Lois Griffin before Lois Griffin.
100%.
And I almost had Elastigirl, Helen Parr.
That's a good one.
Mom of the Incredibles.
Yep.
I was thinking about that one.
What about you, Kinsey? What are some ones that you had on your list that you left off?
Yeah, I had Jill Taylor also from Home Improvement. Also kind of in that same genre. Roy and I were talking about it, my husband, and he's like, what about Aunt Becky from Full House? Just, mom managing like a pretty crazy household. So those were on my radar. I also had Erin Brockovich out there.
Oh, that's a good one.
But I went with Leanne Tui instead of Erin Brockovich. They seemed very similar in that they're both just very badass women. And then I had, when I couldn't decide between Michelle Obama, the other one I was in a deadlock with her was J-Lo.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, mom.
I mean, as far as pop culture icons, I can see that. Yeah.
I mean, just like both real life, just very accomplished women. And then Venus Williams, or Serena Williams. I don't even know which one it is.
Yep.
Serena Williams, sorry. And then, I also had one. I was going to go, I didn't know if y'all were familiar with This Is Us and Rebecca Pearson from
very familiar with that show.
That was a very heavy, serious choice.
It's a good one though.
Yeah.
And then I just had the other fun one. I couldn't decide. I don't know, like Mrs. George from Mean Girls, one that says, I'm not a regular mom.
Oh yeah.
That was just more of my comic relief in there. And then, and also, have you guys seen the movie Just Friends?
No.
With Ryan Reynolds.
Is that with Mila Kunis too? No,
it's Amy Smart and Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No, anyways, it was more, that was just me as a personal preference. I wasn't actually going to pick it, but I don't know. So I tried to go with some more well-known ones than just kind of like the weird funny Kinsey liking one.
I think you're gonna.
I almost went with
another close one.
I almost went with Joyce Byers from Stranger Things.
Man,
that was close.
I totally forgot to put her on my list.
And then there was a couple like old school ones that I feel like I'm voting for my parents' generation, like Lily Munster or Morticia Adams.
Yeah, Morticia Adams would be good.
Absolutely.
I had Ellen Ripley from the Aliens franchise. The bride from Kill Bill,
Leia Organa.
Yeah, I had her, but
she's not known as like the mom. That's like later series.
A little bit.
I almost did. Tiff would have crushed me if I forgot this one, but Meredith Grey from Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah.
I think
about that too.
Tiff wanted me to draft that one.
You could have picked Necessity as the mother of all invention.
Nice.
I almost wanted Catelyn Stark, but
that's who I thought you were going with. But I think Cersei's a better. Good job. All right. Well, we will let the people.
So many options.
Yeah,
there's a ton. I appreciate the amount of preparation that Kinsey went through, because last week, even though he won, Brent Fikowski showed up. It's like, I didn't know what we were doing. It's like, and you still won.
Yeah,
he did. That was a good one. There's just so many, but that was fun.
Yeah. Well, thank you for doing that. And we were talking before we came on here that you are going to be competing in the Atlas Games, and that was actually your preference, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why was that?
I mean, so what'd you say? Why? Why
was that your preference?
It's just because it's gonna. I mean, I'm a mom first, right? So I'm not gonna pack my child up and travel across the country. Whenever I will be more worried about if he slept or if it's nap time or if he has this or if he has that. Or I've been known to have to hold him through the night when we travel because he does not sleep very well when he's not in his own crib. So I'm not trying to compete on no sleep.
Yeah.
But I would love to compete in person again at some point because that's like awesome and fun, but I'm not sure now was the time for me. So online it is.
All right. Well, best of luck at the Atlas Games, and we hope to see you competing in person as well very soon. And best of luck here in the draft. The way that you guys vote, you should know it by now, but in case you don't, Tommy will put up a post on the Talking Elite Fitness Instagram page, and then you just vote in the comments. That's the only place that we accept votes. Okay. Instagram page. Oh, what did you just
read all those comments?
Yes.
There's one. There's just some from shows that I'm just seeing, like Estelle Costanza, like George Costanza's mom. Man,
that's a good one.
A good one that I liked. Oh man, I should have dug a little bit deeper.
That's all right. It's okay. I think you have this is
Ellen Griswold from National Lampoons.
The mom from Christmas Story.
That
was one I should have picked. But
so many good ones are like the lead roles, right? Some of them are like weird little, like they're not even in it very much, but
they have a huge impact.
Yes, great. Yeah.
So, all right. Well, Kinsey, thank you so much for taking the time to do this. We will let the people decide our fate now. As Tommy, you and I have to start pulling even with our guests here. Right?
We do. We got a
team. This is like Team TEF. I think you had a great draft. I think Kinsey had a fantastic draft. I'm happy with my team as well. So vote away, people, in the comments of the post on the Talking Elite Fitness Instagram page. Kinsey, thank you again for doing this. Happy belated Mother's Day to you and yours. I hope everything is great with the family, and best of luck at the Atlas Games. For Tommy Marquez, I'm Sean Woodland. Take care of each other, be better, and we will talk to you next time. All right. Stop that.
There's so many